welcome to the channel Knock Curiosity. In this video, we will be studying about sexual reproduction in plants. So you should always remember a difference. That is, whenever a plant reproduces from seeds, it is sexual reproduction. And whenever it reproduces from any other organ, that is root, leaf, stem, anything, it is asexual reproduction. Now, sexual reproduction, as is always associated with a seed, it is also associated with a flower. Why? Because seed is formed from the flower. Interesting. How? One thing you should remember is flower forms the fruit, and inside the fruit there is a seed. To know how this journey happens from flower to fruit and how seed is formed inside it, we should know that what are the parts of flower. Here I'll show you a picture of a real flower. So these green part are the sepals. Petals we all know, and this is androecium and this one is gynoecium. Now, what are androecium and gynoecium? Androecium is male part and gynoecium is a female part of the flower. So androecium will produce male gametes and gynoecium will produce female gametes. If you are confused that what are the gametes, check out the video in which I have explained you what is sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. When they form their particular gamete, these gametes will fertilize, and then after the zygote formation, fruit will form. So now you know that androecium is a male part, gynoecium is a female part. So then, what is the use of calyx and corolla? Are they needed? So scientists have classified these parts of a flower into two types: essential and non-essential. So in essential, androecium and gynoecium are included because they are male and female part. Without androecium and gynoecium, there won't be reproduction. That is sexual reproduction. But then, what is the role of petals and sepals? They are actually required for the protection. Now I'll show you a picture. Now imagine this is a flower. There are no sepals and petals on it. Then any animal can go and eat it directly, or if there is a lot of wind, there is rainfall, what will happen? It will just get destroyed. So the sepals and petals protect these parts when they are maturing by becoming a bud, that is kadi. When there is a bud or kadi, what is there? The petals are closed, so the androecium and gynoecium is inside it. No one can destroy it. Now, when the petal opens, the androecium and gynoecium, that is male and female, are already matured. So there is immediate fertilization. So even if anyone destroys, there won't be much of the effect. Now you must be confused that what is the difference between calyx and sepals or corolla and petals. I'll tell you. Now you have seen a flower. So all the petals of the flower are together called as corolla. But if you take out one, it is a petal. If you take out two, we call as one petal, two petals. Now, a hibiscus flower's corolla has 5 petals, but the lily flower's corolla has 6 petals. So, got the difference? Same is the difference in calyx and sepals. That is, single is a sepal, and all the sepals together form calyx. Now we know that sepals and petals, though, are called as non-essential parts. They are actually required. They are called non-essential because they are not directly involved in the reproduction. So essential parts: androecium, gynoecium. Non-essential: sepals and petals. Now we are clear with the parts that are present in the flower. So if all the four parts, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium, all are present, then the flower is called a complete flower. But even if a single part is missing, that is the flower does not have calyx, then it is an incomplete flower. If the flower do not have petals, that is corolla, then also it is an incomplete flower. Now unisexual flowers are also incomplete. What are unisexual flowers? That means either androecium is not present in that flower or gynoecium is not present in that flower. So if androecium is not present, only gynoecium is present. That means female part is present. That is, it is a female flower. And if only androecium is present, then it is a male flower. But because only male or only female is present, it is called as unisexual flower. And if both androecium and gynoecium are present, then it is a bisexual flower. But the flower most of the times is joined to the stem with help of a stalk. That stalk is called as pedicel, and the flower is known as pedicellate flower. But sometimes it may happen that the pedicel is not present in the flower. The flower is directly attached to the stem. So such flowers are called as sessile flowers. That is without pedicel. Now as we have seen that single is petal, all the petals in a flower are corolla. So similarly, single is stamen, together androecium. Single is carpel, together it is gynoecium. Now the gynoecium has three parts. Check out in this photo. Now I will show you in a diagram three parts of gynoecium. The uppermost part that you can see is stigma. The middle part, that is a tube-like part, that is style. It is hollow from inside. That means you have seen straw. You can drink milkshake through the straw. Why? Because it is hollow from inside. And the part that is present, the bulky part, the bulged part that is present at the downside, it is ovary. Now check this out. What you can see that from the stamen, the pollen grains are falling down. The yellow thing that you can see is pollen grains. These are the male gametes. And what is pollination? When these pollen grains fall on the stigma, it is pollination. Now what happens is, the stigma is sticky. So these pollen grains stick on the stigma very easily. And later they form a tube. What this tube does, it goes through the style. I have already told you that style is hollow. Now imagine that you have a straw. You can insert a thread through a straw, right? Similarly, the style is a hollow structure like straw, and the pollen grain forms a thread that goes inside that style. So it passes through that style. By now we know that pollen grain is a male gamete. Now in pollen grain, what is pollen grain forming? A thread-like structure called as pollen tube. In this tube there are two nucleus, and these nucleus are haploid. Now this pollen tube has reached till ovary. Now it goes inside the ovary. So in the ovary, these two nucleus from pollen tube, they are released. So one nucleus goes and fuses with the egg. Now here the egg is female gamete. The second nucleus goes and fuses with the polar nucleus. Now what is the important thing here? The egg and one nucleus both are haploid because they are gametes. Now they will form a diploid zygote because fertilization has occurred, and the second nucleus that has fused with the polar nucleus, it will form a triploid structure. One interesting thing is the polar nucleus has two nuclei in it, and now one more nucleus from pollen tube has fused with it. Now there are in all three nucleus, that is the structure is triploid. So now what has happened? One nucleus from the pollen grain has fused with egg, and one nucleus from the pollen grain has fused with polar nucleus. So fusion is 2 times. That is fertilization is 2 times. Therefore it is called as double fertilization. Now as there is a double fertilization, there are two products. One is zygote, that is the pollen grain which has fused with egg will form a zygote, and the pollen grain which has fused with polar nucleus, it will form endosperm. What that endosperm does is it provides nutrition, that is food, to the zygote. Now because the fertilization has occurred, the ovule, it will get converted into the seed, and the ovary, it will get converted into the fruit. So the journey from flower to fruit is completed. I hope you have enjoyed the journey. If you have liked this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to the channel. Press the bell icon so you can see more such interesting videos.